If you are like the millions of people that do not have $2,000 sitting in your bank account to protect you against an emergency, or if you have any sort of high interest debts, whether it's credit card debt, whether it's payday loans, whether it's other forms of high interest credit card debts, then what I want you to do with the $1,000 is not worry about investing it in other places, but I want you to use $1,000 to take care of your foundational side of money. That means save your first $1,000. You want to save at least $2,000 to protect you against an emergency to start. But if you don't have at least $1,000, start with that. Then I want you to take that money and pay down your high interest debts like your credit card debts. If you haven't done this yet, do this with that first $1,000 before you worry about investing your money anywhere else, because right now you got to build your foundation. Once you do this, let's move on to number 2. The second way that you can invest this $1,000 is the more common way that people invest their money, which is through different types of passive investments, meaning you take that $1,000 and you put it to work in places that will work to generate you some money. Now, I have 5 different opportunities here that you can consider investing your money in, but I gotta give you this little disclaimer to begin with, because number 1, investing has risks. You're never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will probably lose money at some point, so make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. And although I will give you some examples of funds, I'm not telling you what to invest in because I'm not a financial advisor and I don't know your own personal financial situations. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt and make sure you do your own research and don't just blindly throw your money into a random fund, stock, or anything that somebody on the internet tells you. So the first way that you can do this is paying off your lower interest rate debts. So you have a car payment, you have a mortgage, you have student loans, you can take that $1,000 and work to pay that off. And the reason why this is interesting is because let's say you have student loans that are costing you 6% a year. If you can pay off your student loans 1 year early, that is a guaranteed 6% return on your money. Now, the reason why that's significant is because if you put your money, let's say, into the stock market, now the goal is to grow your money by 7 to 10% a year, but it's not guaranteed. Maybe you can get a better return in the stock market. Maybe you'll get the same return in the stock market as paying off your student loans, but you could also lose money in the stock market. So this is where you have to find that right risk versus reward. See, when you pay down your student loans, you have very little risk and you know exactly what the reward is. You're going to pay off your student loans 1 year early or 2 years early or whatever it might be for you. But when you invest your money into the stock market, you're taking on more risk because you don't know what's going to happen in the stock market next year. The stock market could crash next year. It could also boom next year. And because you're taking on more risk, you want to see higher potential returns. So that's one way that you can invest that $1,000. The second way that you can invest this $1,000 would be to invest your money into the stock market. Now, when most people hear that, they think, oh, you're saying I got to go find the next Tesla, the next Amazon, the next Microsoft? And that's not what I'm saying. Because for 98% of Americans, the way that you become wealthy in the stock market is not by trying to find the next hot stock, because most people, when they're trying to find the next hot stock, they're going onto Wall Street Bets, they're going onto whatever Discord forums on the internet, trying to find some interesting stock, and then they dump their money in there, hoping that it's gonna pop off. But that's like gambling. And I don't play that game. I don't understand that game. If you can find a way to make money with that game, great, but that's not for me and that's not what I talk about. Instead, when I say put your money in the stock market, I mean put your money into the stock market. For example, there is an ETF called VTI, meaning if you go onto your stock brokerage and you buy 1 share of VTI, what you're buying is 1 share of the total stock market. So the way that these funds work is that you're buying a piece of all the companies on the United States stock market. An ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. And the way that these exchange traded funds work is that they trade just like stocks, but instead of buying one company, you're buying an index. You're buying a group of companies. So VTI is an index that gives you exposure to the total stock market. So if you just want to invest your money into the stock market, well, you can put your money into a fund like VTI. Again, I'm not telling you what to invest in, giving you an example. But the reason why you want to understand this is because historically, we have seen the stock market go up on average. But when a lot of people invest their money into stocks, they end up losing money. The reason is because they don't know what to buy. They don't know how to analyze a good company versus a bad company. They just throw their money into a random company and hope that this company is going to grow. But if that company goes bankrupt, you lose. If you sell your stocks then, when markets are down, you lose. But if you want to mitigate some of the risk, if you don't want to have to keep up with the company, if you don't want to try to invest into the perfect company, well, now you can invest your money into the total stock market. If you don't want to invest your money into the total stock market, another option is you can invest your money into something called the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a group of the 500 largest companies by market capitalization, meaning by size, in the United States stock market. So you have funds like VOO and SPY, 2 different ETFs that give you exposure to the S&P 500. As a disclaimer, I own shares in VOO. Here I am on the VOO website, and there's a section called Performance and Fees showing the total returns. And what you see is that over the last year, VOO grew by around 30%. Over the last 3 years, it grew by around 11% a year. Over the last 5 years, it grew by around 15% a year. And over the last 10 years, it grew by around 12% a year. And since this fund was created back in 2010, the fund grew by 14% a year. Now you got to remember, previous returns do not guarantee any future returns. If the market were to crash over the next 12 months, well, then the next year's return are going to be very bad. They're going to be negative if the market is crashing, if the biggest 500 companies are going down. But what you want to remember is you want to be investing your money for the long term. That's the way that you win with this strategy, is you keep investing your money every single time you get paid, every month, every 2 weeks, every week. Every time you get paid, you want to keep putting your money into these types of funds. So if you have $1,000, the way that you win with $1,000 isn't just to invest $1,000 one time and then hope to see that money grow over the next 1, 3, 5, 10, or 30 years. It's to keep investing $1,000 week after week after week, month after month after month. And if you don't have $1,000 a week to invest $1,000 a month. If you don't have $1,000 a month to invest $500 a month. If you can't do $500 a month, do $100 a month. If you can't do $100 a month, do $25 a month. But get started, because that's what's going to allow you to compound your money and to compound your gains. The fourth way to passively invest your money here would be to invest your money into dividend-paying funds. I like to invest my money for cash flow. If you watched any of my videos, you've probably heard me talk about that countless times. And the reason is because when I invest my money for cash flow, I get paid without having to sell my stocks. I get paid without having to sell out my real estate. I get paid without having to sell off my assets. Meaning I can just work to stack the cash flow and increase my income. And now I can use this income to pay for my car. I can use the income to pay for my groceries. I can use the income to pay for my vacations, or I can use the income to pay for more investments that pay me more income. In the stock market, what you want to remember, and a lot of people get confused, is you're not investing in a stock. You're investing in a company. And now when you're investing in a company, you're also investing in the money that a company makes. Now, if a company is more mature and they're making a profit, there are 3 things that they can do with this profit. They can take this profit and save it for an emergency. You all remember what happened back in 2020. The pandemic hit and a lot of companies had no cash to protect them. So some companies will hopefully want to protect themselves by saving some of this money. Option number 2 is you can take this cash and reinvest it back into the company. That's what pretty much every startup does, is to take all of the money that they're making and then they reinvest it back into the company because they want to grow quicker, faster. And then option number 3 is you can take that money and you can give it away to some of your shareholders, to some of your investors. So as the company grows and it matures, if it continues to have bigger and bigger profits, you might not have a need to keep saving more and more money, and you might not have the best way to reinvest this money back into the company because maybe you don't have a good reinvestment option. And this is where now some companies will take this money and they'll just give it away to the shareholders in the form of a dividend or a stock buyback. Now, the nice thing about a dividend is you get that cash today. With a stock buyback, that means that your stock will hopefully go up in price, which increases the value of your investment, but you don't actually get that money until you sell your stock. Your dividend, on the other hand, puts cash in your pocket today. So now what you can do is you can invest in companies that are paying out dividends, or you can invest in funds that are investing in companies paying out dividends. A couple examples of this are SCHD. Again, a disclaimer, this is an ETF that I'm personally invested in, or SPYD. SPYD is an ETF that gives you exposure to the S&P 500 companies that are just paying out dividends. So dividend paying companies in the S&P 500. So now you can take this $1,000 that you have and work to invest it into funds that are paying you dividends, because now not only are you hoping to see the value of this fund rise, but you're also getting cash in your pocket today. And then you can decide what you want to do with that cash. You want to reinvest this cash, that way you can keep buying more cash flow, or do you want to take this cash and use it to go out and spend today? And I'll leave that option up to you. The 5th way that you can passively invest that $1,000 is to put this money into real estate. Now you might be thinking, but Jaspreet, how am I going to go out and buy a property for $1,000? And you're right. You're probably not going to be able to find a property on sale for $1,000. And if you do, it is going to be in rough condition. So the way that you can get exposure to real estate with a $1,000 investment is by investing your money into crowdfunded real estate. There are, again, platforms on the internet that will allow you to invest in crowdfunded real estate, meaning you're investing your money into a fund that's giving you exposure to real estate. And now what you're doing is you're not owning the actual physical property, is you're getting exposure to that property. And now if this property goes up in value, you will get your share of that. Or if this property pays out rental income, it makes a profit, you will get your share of that. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.